Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with my esteemed colleague, Mr. David Yurkofsky, international immigration attorney and renowned great person. Welcome, David.
Thank you so much, John. Mr. Dorer, it's a pleasure to be here with you again, uh, helping helping those folks who want to find a way to live in the USA and live and work here.
That's right. And normally on our Friday chats, we kind of ramble on about how we think things should be and what we do if we were in charge and all that stuff. Today, we're going to kind of talk about something specific. And that is the EB3 medical exam. Now, we're not going to go into great detail. We're just going to kind of do a high level overview. Um, but so we'll just kind of have a conversation. So, David, as I understand it, the medical exam is required both if you're doing adjustment of status and if you're doing consular processing.
Yes.
First of all, let's back up. What is the medical exam and is it required?
Well, you can ask either myself or John to perform the exam, but you probably should get an approved physician that's either approved by the U.S. consulate in your region. They have a list. They're all different in every country and every consulate. Or if you're inside the United States, perhaps on an F1 visa or an H1B visa or an H4 visa or other status that's legal in the United States, then you would use what they call an approved USCIS surgeon physician. It's called a surgeon, quotes. So when the time comes, you'll be given a list, and you can choose your doctor.
So for those people that are in the U.S., the priority date is a real pain, and we have to wait for the priority date to become current. Should they do it now, or should they wait until their priority date is current to do the medical exam? Does it expire?
My recollection is it used to expire like after 6 months, but they extended it. Was it 2 years? Was that the
It's
extension?
2 years now. Yeah, yeah.
I would wait till the priority date comes along. Well, it depends. I mean, let's say you're someone who has a history of what's that disease that people sometimes get in their chest?
Is it
I would get it. I would at least get a TB test to make sure I don't have it. If you've had, and this is very specific, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm giving immigration law advice that if you want to pass the immigration medical exam, you should not have active TB. So if you think you have TB or have had TB, you might want to get that checked, because if it shows up active, they're going to give you a chest X-ray. And if it shows up it's active, that could delay your green card.
right? So it doesn't disqualify you. You have a chance to have it fixed, and then you could take another medical exam. But certainly you want to have that addressed early if you think you have problems.
Yes, or any communicable disease. You know, you wouldn't you try and stay healthy, folks, and by that we mean you should get enough sleep, exercise. Oh, now I'm not going to tell you to buy John's new vitamin for $1,000 a week. No, you exercise, eat right, because if you have any communicable disease from any kind of disease, whatever it is, that could hold up your green card application. So stay healthy.
Right. So I'll put the form in the comments section. It's form I-693. So you can look over the form. You can take it to your doctor now to see if there are any issues that should be addressed. So okay, so I go to the medical exam. I'm at the doctor's office. Um, what does he give me? Does he give me like papers, or is it an envelope, or what?
Well, first he's going to want, or he or she, what's on the form now, he or she, right? They will want to look at your medical records. So it's a good idea to make sure you bring your vaccination records, especially if you're in the United States and were vaccinated as a child in another country. Try and get your parents or your family members or whatever to send you your vaccination records, because you don't want to get shots that you don't need. If you've already had all the childhood, you don't want to have them again. So good I
Yeah, if they don't see that, if you cannot show proof that you've had the inoculation, they're going to give it to you at that point in time.
speaking of which, by the way, there's no longer a COVID vaccine requirement. That has been
That's right.
terminated.
That's right. One less thing to worry about. So there's no longer a COVID since since the new administration took office. So all right. So getting back to my question, do they give you just a set of papers when they leave, or does it come in a sealed envelope?
Ah, yes. So when it's finished, and you might not get it back the same day, right? You may have to come pick it up a few days later because they got to do blood tests. I don't think you're going to go home with it the same day. Uh, but yeah, you're going to be given a sealed envelope. Please don't open it up. Please don't tell me what's in there. I don't need to know. It's sealed. We don't need to know. It's confidential. It's your medical record. That's your privileged private information.
That's right. So when we file the adjustment of status application with USCIS, we send in the sealed medical exam. Now, if you want to get a copy of it, you can certainly ask for a separate copy.
Oh, and you should, of course, if you're going to spend the money on going to a doctor, by all means, get a copy. And by the way, you can take a picture of that and upload it into ChatGPT. I'm not sure. I think and some of these AI things and apparently they do a pretty good job. I had something analyzed and I heard something that my doctor didn't tell me. So I'm going to have to check up on that. But
It's,
yeah,
ChatGPT is getting better by the day. So that's if you're in the U.S. and doing adjustment of status, you'll get a sealed envelope, and you'll send. That sealed envelope goes for the filing. Now, if you're abroad and you're doing consular processing, sometimes they'll give you a sealed envelope, but sometimes they'll just electronically submit your records directly to the embassy. So
but you can still ask for your own copy. But yeah, they will ask some of these. Yeah, that's why you want to try. You want an approved physician because what happens is some of them have a relationship with the consulates and they literally can electronically notify and send them a copy, which is pretty. Actually, I find that pretty amazing. That in some of these, yeah,
that's right. So, and I'll put the link also in the comments section or in the description below. But if you're in the U.S. doing adjustment of status, there is a list of civil surgeon that the USCIS has. And so you just select your state and it gives you a list or a zip code, I think. If you're abroad, when you get the notice from the embassy, it will direct you to a list of specific approved physicians to go to. So,
and if you're traveling with your family, Dawn, what about if you have a child who's under 2 years old?
Under 2 years old, tell me.
Well, I don't I don't think that for one thing, I know they don't need TB screening, and I don't think they need a blood test. I think blood tests are uh certain blood tests are only for 15 and over. Like we're not the doctors here, but your 2-year-old or your baby should not have the same uh quite the same requirements as,
Yeah, the instructions will be in the counselor counselor instructions. So again, now getting back to if let's say that I don't pass one of my tests, like the TB test, and I need an X-ray. So is there a way that I can prove that I'm eligible, or can I consult with a doctor and have some sort of treatment and then retake the test?
Absolutely yes.
Okay, excellent.
Now that's a pretty rare thing, but these things happen sometimes. Or maybe you test positive for COVID-19, so you might have to do that again.
Now, what if I have a history of substance abuse, also known as drug addiction? Could that potentially disqualify me?
I mean, unfortunately, yes. But I think it's if you have a criminal record for the drug use, it is very likely to disqualify you, and much more likely. But um, if you have a condition that can be cured, then if you can get confirmation from the doctor that you're cured, then you should be fine.
Excellent. Excellent. All right.
Right.
Well,
As far as drug use, I mean, they'll give you a medical exam, like just like when we have people coming in, let's say for a visa, for an H-1B visa or an L visa or an O or E3, whatever. Uh, if they've had a driving while impaired, driving under the influence, I think the consulate likes them to bring a blood test to show that they're not, walking around the world with a high alcohol content in their blood.
right.
But I'm not sure. I'm not really sure that. Look, we can't answer every question here. That would be case specific advice. But if you are an alcoholic or a drug addict, uh, you need to reveal that to uh, the employer. I don't know, to the recruiter. How would you do that, John?
Well, certainly, that's a bit of a tangent that I don't want to go down. But
So it's very confidential. Yeah.
yeah, I would certainly say speak to if you're interested in immigrating and you think you might not qualify, speak to your physician. Show them the medical exam that the form, the I-693, and have a discussion with them about your specific situation. I would start there.
Yeah, I think the physicians are aware of the key issues because they have to be pre-approved by USCIS or by the consulates in order to administer the exam. So yeah, that really is between you and your doctor. We don't have to know your medical history. We don't want to know your medical history.
That's right. That's right. So excellent. So yeah, this was just supposed to be kind of a top level overview, not too granular, not too detailed. So that's what the medical exam is all about. And hope this was helpful. If you have any comments, leave them below. David, thank you so much for your generous allowance of time. Richard, as always.
Thank you for helping me to be able to reach a lot of people in this world that in the past I was not able to help. And especially a lot of people would say to me that, how do I find an employer? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't, that I'm the immigration lawyer. And if someone can help them find an employer, it's like winning the lotto right there. It's a ticket. I mean, you're not, it's an opportunity that 99.999999% of the people on this earth do not ever have. So thank you.
My pleasure. Teamwork makes the dream work. Until next time.
Right.